Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMtrading. Today's October 30th, 2020. And today is Friday morning. It's also the last day of the month. We go into elections November 3rd next week. However, looking at the highlights of the day, we watched Facebook, Apple, and Amazon all come out with disappointing corporate earning releases yesterday. Looking at the economic events today, just two events coming out later today: core price index and Michigan consumer sentiment. That's at 2:30 and 4 o'clock South African time. Now looking at the actual currencies, the euro and the British pound retrace, taking a very steep decline. We're going to take a look at that in just a second. Looking at the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, and world markets tumble with these disappointing numbers. Now, there's a few things that is what I call the trifecta. It's the fact that we're in a pandemic. It's the fact that we're going into election years. And it's also the fact that the markets are pretty much saturated with all the current situations. Now, looking at the commodities, gold consolidates at that 1870 level, and oil pretty much unchanged. Lastly, looking at the stocks, as we mentioned, the FANG stocks disappoint with corporate earnings. Let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So as I mentioned, okay, you've got to take this market into consideration. It's a very emotional market. It's not a rational market that we're trading in right now. Every so often you do have rationalities, and yesterday was a case in point. When the markets come out with earning releases and companies share what they did in the previous quarter and what they expect their guidance for next quarter, that's really important, and especially right now as we're going into the election, okay? Now, looking at the Euro USD, you can see right here, we're looking at a daily. We retraced down to 116.72-ish level. We're breaking that 117-ish level and then retracing another 80 pips, okay? So that finally happened, okay? We've been kind of itching on it. People have been asking me, Fred, what do you think is going to happen with the Euro USD? And sure enough, that happened, okay? Now, jumping into the British pound, also, it did happen. Let's just find it. So we're looking here at the British pound, and you can see also breaking that 130-ish level. Okay, so you do see that kind of retracement, the dollar getting stronger, but that's really on the back of the fact that the Dow Jones is pummeling. Okay, really selling off quite sharply. Now jumping into gold. Gold trading at that 1870-ish level. Now, this is a very important Fibonacci retracement level. We hit a low of 1855 last time, and so we're pretty much still, okay, just at these levels. We just hit that 1858-ish level as we retrace. You can see right there at that level. Okay, I'm highlighting it on my cursor right now. You should be able to see it. And we bounced off of it. So this actually may be a really great buying opportunity if we sustain this level. Okay, now jumping into oil, not much doing here at $36. Did retrace yesterday, but really unchanged from yesterday after it pummeled over 2 points down to $35 a barrel. Now jumping into the Dow Jones, this is really what we're looking at. 26,151. We've given up about 1,700 points over the past week. Okay, so that's a decent retracement for the Dow Jones. Not decent, that's an incredible retracement. Now if we look at the VIX, it is jumping because of this volatility. So going into the election, okay, one or two scenarios we can take. Okay, the market is digesting these corporate earning news. That's one. Two, there's some hope every election that things are going to get better. Okay, that's just the way things are pinned when we come to an election. Everybody's hoping for the best and hoping for a new start. Okay, so however it's going to pan out, whether Trump wins or Biden wins, I think we're going to be rallying into the election. So that includes today to tomorrow to Monday and then Tuesday, you know, continuing that rally. Okay, how much further can we go? We could go up to 26,800-ish level. That's my guess, but we are consolidating at this area. It is reluctant to sell off. Now, we've sold off the entire week, okay? So I do expect some sort of short coverings coming up, okay? So it could happen today. And remember, when short coverings happen, they give you tremendous kind of spikes, okay? What is holding me back from saying that is because ultimately the news came out after the close yesterday with the corporate earnings. So if Amazon and all these stocks come out negative, okay, and they don't have enough buying in them, okay, we could see some further pressure on the downside, but I don't think that that's going to happen. If we look at Apple, yesterday it traded at 113, ended that day, but I do expect it to gap down this morning, okay? Looking at Facebook as well, trading at $280 a share, right at that top. Okay, I do expect it to retrace as well. And looking lastly at Amazon, trading at that 3,200-ish level, quite, respectively, but I do expect it to break on the downside. So what we may get this morning is a gap down and maybe just a tremendous amount of churning, okay, because there's so much sellers and they're not going to give it to us so easily by just letting the markets go down so quickly. Okay, so with that said, we may have that short covering, like I said, and get that spike on the upside. Now, looking at the VIX yesterday, you could see that it's spiking up to 40. Okay, and giving us, close to a level where we were in June. Okay, certainly a level where we were at the beginning of September when we had that massive sell-off from that 29,000 initially. So this is actually happening again. So, something to keep an eye on the VIX to see if it does sustain itself up here, then we may get that extra pressure on the downside. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day and a beautiful weekend. Thank you.